Hundreds of Native Americans from all across Utah come to BYU for the 40th annual powwow.
When your friendship sticks, it just sticks, you know?
The story of 3 BYU illustration majors who have been on BYU's West Campus since they were kids.
Local restaurants become a gathering place for Utah immigrants. Welcome to Universe Live. I'm Trevor Myers.
And I'm Hassan El-Sheikh. It's Friday, April 14th, 2023. Immigrants say Latin restaurants provide a space for them to connect.
Aubrey B. Jennings visited one of these restaurants to see how it helps a community come together. Aubrey, which immigrant population is the largest in Utah?
Latinos are Utah's largest minority group, with nearly 500,000 living here in the state. And while immigrants face a lot of challenges, many are creating spaces for inclusion, like this restaurant here in Provo. This is Carola. She moved to Utah in 2017 from Bolivia.
Utah is beautiful. Utah is really nice.
And like many immigrants and refugees do in the States, she got to work, buying and running a restaurant with her husband. And while they are Bolivian, you might be surprised to hear they run a Mexican Salvadorian restaurant, catering to Utah's largest population of Latinos.
There are lots of cultures here in Utah, but mainly there are friends from Mexico. But also there are those from El Salvador, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Argentina. People from Chile also come.
Making her restaurant, as many restaurants are, a place of connection and community.
I like working here because I meet people from around the world, and every day there are new stories, new clients, and you make friends.
And for many, starting fresh in a new country is a challenging experience. For Carola, whose daughter is still in Bolivia,
It's been really hard on us. It's been a really difficult time in my life.
with everything immigrants and refugees sacrifice, one BYU professor has taken a unique approach to supporting them.
I can do good in the world and enjoy this wonderful food by choosing to visit restaurants like this.
For this professor, visiting immigrants' restaurants is a way to connect with them and support the vital roles they play in our economy.
The reason why they're here is because they're needed, and our economy wouldn't function as well without them.
While immigrants support the economy in various ways, their restaurants are also a way of sharing their culture with others. Restaurants are more than just a place to fill your stomach. They are a space for community and for culture. And for Professor Hawkins, that's worth supporting. Reporting for Universe Live in Provo, I'm Aubrey B. Jennings. Cheers.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Some students could use help planning life post-graduation. Universe Live reporter Ariel Harmer found out about some options BYU students have.
The Wilkinson Student Center on BYU campus is a hub of opportunity. Among the offices housed in the building is BYU's Career Services and Experiential Learning, which helps students of all grades prepare for life after graduation.
It's just a great resource for students who want to work on their resume, their cover letter, going over mock interviews, or just having more professional development through like LinkedIn or Handshake.
The Career Studio isn't the only service available at the office. Students can also meet with career directors, experts in their industry who work with students and employers to find the best fit.
A career director is really a great person to have in your arsenal for going out and being able to start your career.
The experiential learning and internship side of the office focuses on creating opportunities for students to learn outside of the classroom. Experiential learning helps prepare students for a career in their field and teaches them about different options available for their degree.
For those who do decide, I don't necessarily want to do my major, we have online resources. One of them is What Can I Do With This Major? It's a great resource on our site at careers.byu.edu that actually outlines other things that you can do with your engineering or your dance or your writing or English lit.
Jones says employers look for students who have diverse educations and are ready to continue learning in the workforce, and career services can help students prepare for that.
Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, you are all welcome here, and the sooner you start looking into some of these, the easier it is going to be for you to make those decisions when it comes to selecting your career and getting your foot in the door with employers.
Reporting for Universe Live, I'm Ariel Harmer.
BYU TV is helping students break into an industry that is notoriously difficult to get into. Taylor Bruin went to BYU TV to find out how the organization helps students succeed in the sports broadcasting industry. Taylor, what did you find out?
Thanks. Here at BYU Broadcasting, professionals provide training and experience for students working on real broadcasts that they can't get anywhere else.
And take 2 under.
Welcome to BYU Sports Station. In this industry, it's really tough to get a job without experience, and it's hard to get experience.
2, 3.
BYU TV is a real station. I can't think of really any other university that has a real TV station where students can come work in the industry. This is a great opportunity for students to gain experience, see if this is something that they want to do.
That was true for Colton Potter. He changed his major to journalism after starting a job at BYU TV.
I got the job and I fell in love with the production aspect of sports. And within a couple weeks of working there, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Students take on real responsibility at BYU TV, producing entire shows themselves.
I also, for the last couple years, have been producing for BYU Sports Nation and a couple other shows.
Working for BYU TV provides opportunities for students outside of BYU.
I freelanced with ESPN, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, and RSL. All of those freelance opportunities that I've gotten have been at a recommendation of one of my bosses at BYU TV.
And roll paint dissolve.
BYU TV, I feel like that job has opened so many doors and avenues up to me.
Ready, 1.
I'm really grateful for.
That's our show today.
BYU TV has cultivated a worldwide reputation for the students and professionals working there. They regularly have students and employees go on to work for ESPN, the Olympics, and many other worldwide organizations. Reporting for Universe Live in Provo, I'm Taylor Bruin.
Thanks, Taylor.
BYU recently relocated the College of Fine Arts to West Campus while demolition of the old arts building and construction of a new building take place on campus. Universe Live reporter Trevor Myers meets up with some friends who have been at West Campus long before BYU took over. Trevor, they've been there for years, right?
That's right, and I'm actually here inside the West Campus Central building of Brigham Young University. But if it looks like a high school, that's because it was one. For many students, this is a new and unfamiliar space, but one trio of friends has been here for years.
This is true. I love that you remember this.
Meet Liliana, Rebecca, and Marcus. These 3 first met in middle school as part of an advanced program where they were taking classes at Provo High School.
Hey, this is where we used to sit and eat in middle school, Marcus.
Then they came for high school, took some art classes, and joined an art-centered service group.
This is where we had our art shows occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're all back in that same high school building, but they have returned as BYU students majoring in illustration.
It looks a little different, so I think I forget sometimes, and then I'll just be walking down a hallway and I'll be like, wow, I've been here for almost 7 years now.
Coming back to the same campus takes some getting used to.
Didn't this used to be the photography?
Yeah,
When I first found out that we were coming here from the HVAC, I was like, oh, I'll get used to it. It'll be fine. It'll feel really different. But I feel like I haven't really gotten used to it, and it kind of feels like I'm coming to high school every day. Part of it kind of feels like, oh my gosh, I cannot get away.
I love how they still have this sticker on.
Well, it's weird being back here after coming when I was 12 and still being here, because in many ways I'm a very different person.
But even though it's weird to be back,
Where did the shrine go?
this building at West Campus is a symbol of their friendship.
Reminds me of the little ghost choir thing. Have you seen?
When your friendship sticks, it just sticks, you know? And we have more of a concrete reminder of that being in this building every day that we've been in forever.
And while some things in the building haven't changed,
This is the main hall.
it's growing with them and their relationships.
You realize that in these places they grow too, and now that we're back, new memories are coming. And so it's hard for me to remember this building as the high school.
Are these other goose?
I remember a lot of things there, but when I walk through it now, it's not the high school anymore.
Oh my gosh, guys, let's investigate.
These 3 say that returning to this building, joining the same major, and being at the same university were not a part of their plans. Art is what brought them together, and it's one of many things keeping their relationship strong. Reporting for Universe Live at West Campus, I'm Trevor Myers. The 40th Annual Harold A. Cedar Tree Memorial Powwow was held on March 24th and 25th, showcasing Native American tribes from across the region. Joe Worthlin is live on campus. Joe, you went to the powwow. What was it like?
Thanks. The powwow was an incredible experience filled with music, food, and dancing. I got a chance to speak with 2 BYU students who shared their personal experience relating their traditional experiences with their religious heritage. Students were given a glimpse into one of the cultural traditions of Native American life at BYU's 40th annual powwow. A powwow is a Native American cultural celebration that commemorates friendship, family, and religion. Cheyenne Elton, the head lady dancer for the powwow, explained her relationship between tradition and religion.
I've been able to connect with my ancestors, and I consider the Great Spirit and Heavenly Father as the same being, and being able to understand that He loves us and cares for us no matter what.
As she dances, Elton thinks about her ancestors that helped pave her way.
I've had 4 generations of women teach me that getting an education is very important, that we need to do everything that we can to achieve it.
Nabahi Sosi, the head man dancer for the powwow, said that he considers his religion to be the reason why he dances.
Whenever spiritual experiences or instances happen at powwow, I like to dance for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I like to thank Him in this form of dance for giving me a body.
By showcasing Native American culture on campus, Sosi hopes to inspire understanding and appreciation for faith in all who attend.
Single dress dancers at this time, come on in.
I know that Jesus Christ accepts all forms of praise and glory that we give Him, so this is my way of praising and honoring Him and thanking Him for the body that He gave me.
The Multicultural Student Services Office worked with these students to ensure that this year's powwow was successful. Now that the powwow is complete, BYU is preparing for next year's celebration. Reporting live on BYU campus, for Universe Live, I'm Joe Worthland.
Thanks, Joe. Balancing exercise and school can be a challenge to many college students.
Tabby Freitas is in the newsroom and has a resource to help students find that equilibrium. Tabby?
Yes, Hassan. BYU's YBFIT program helps the students learn about everyday things they can do to improve their health and fitness. They create personalized exercise and eating programs based on your needs and personal goals.
When I was a little kid, I was a pretty skinny kid, just like most of them, but that didn't last too long. When I grew up, I started gaining weight, and by the time I finished high school, I was at about 240 pounds. On my mission in Argentina, I got down to about 180, and I came home and struggled to maintain that.
For students in the same situation as Ben, or that worry about staying active and being healthy, BYU offers the YBFIT program. Participants go through a series of physical tests and then are paired with a health coach that helps them plan personalized goals to improve their well-being.
It was really cool with Ben because I feel like for him, he was discovering things while he was talking to me. So I was discovering things about him.
Morning carbs, big no-no.
As he was discovering them for himself.
Some of the goals set by Ben involve developing better eating habits by diminishing the amount of food he eats within every meal, as well as improving those types of food.
I had tried changing how I ate, but that just wasn't really making much of a difference. I knew I needed to add exercise to my plan, so I worked with my health coach at YBFIT, and we set a goal to get some form of exercise every day.
Health coaches are someone students can be accountable to.
Present, good.
They help students learn about different topics within fitness and create personalized exercise plans.
So the rest of the follow-up appointments, every week we'll meet and then we'll talk about whatever topic we had planned on talking about, and then based on that, we plan another weekly goal.
At the end of the program, participants redo their physical and fitness tests and compare the results as part of an overview of their progress.
But even though I'm only a few weeks in, I'm starting to see results. I'm feeling a bit better. I've lost a bit of weight. I move around better, and I'm learning good habits that I can stick with for a long time.
The YBFIT program costs $75 for students. The program is open to faculty, staff, and community members. For more information, go to exsc.byu.edu/YBFIT.
Thanks, Tabby. That's definitely something worth looking into.
It's so cool.
One couple leads the way for swing dancing at BYU. Find out why the Country Swing Dance Club has a special place in the heart of the club's vice presidents.
We'll take. BYU is home to many religious students. We'll introduce you to a Muslim BYU football player who is finding ways to balance his faith and football.
There's lots of talk about the new Hogwarts Legacy game, and BYU has quite a few members of the community involved in the making of the music.
Kalei Fink talked with a professor, his family, and an alumnus who were all part of the musical composition.
The Harry Potter franchise is beloved by all, and recently Hogwarts Legacy, a new game set inside of the Harry Potter universe, has gained a lot of traction from both gamers and Potterheads alike. And several BYU students, staff, and alumni were included in making of the music.
The Hoffines family is a musically talented group who was involved in this project. Nathan Hoffines is an assistant professor in the School of Music and was a conductor of the Overture to the Unwritten.
It's kind of a medley of music for the game that they used in the game, but they put it together for a promotional spot that I orchestrated and conducted.
Nathan's daughter, Amanda Hoffines, was a cellist in the orchestra.
The arrangement was very well done, so it was fun to just be a part of that.
Nathan's son, Joseph Hoffines, was a violinist.
It was a bit of a unique project because the game hadn't been released. It hadn't even been announced yet, so we kind of had to keep it on the down low.
The Hoffines weren't the only members of the BYU community involved. J. Scott Riccozzi is the composer of many songs on the Hogwarts Legacy soundtrack.
My role initially was, for the music side of things, was kind of bringing more of the John Williams-like sound to the soundtrack.
All involved were tasked with bringing the memories of Harry Potter into this new game.
It needed that nostalgia kind of factor.
For those who worked on the project, they say it was daunting and fulfilling.
It took a little bit of time to kind of immerse myself into the style, the idiom of John Williams.
In my own musical compositions, I've been called upon a lot to imitate his style. So it was cool to work with another composer who had done the same kind of thing for the game, knowing that it really needed to sound like John Williams.
Bringing the musical magic into this game was expertly done by all of these members of the BYU community.
It was fun to see everybody's reaction and kind of have this excitement energy in the room while playing these well-loved pieces.
There were a number of other BYU members involved in this project, such as Peter Murray and several members of the choir here on campus. If you would like to play the game, head on over to hogwartslegacy.com. Reporting for the Universe Live here at Brigham Young University, I am Kalei Fink.
A recent study has linked good friends to improved physical health. As Megan Brugger discovered, many college students have already figured that out.
I love these guys. You guys are the best.
Strong, steady, and healthy friendships contribute to good physical health.
Dude, cars are cool.
According to new research by Social Psychological and Personality Science. BYU psychology student Hannah Hornberger interpreted the study and compared her own research, confirming the correlation between social connection and stress management.
Innately, we're just like social beings, and we're just kind of wired to connect with people.
The study's results found that, on average, having more positive experiences in social relationship settings was linked to better coping abilities, lower stress, and lower systolic blood pressure.
Having that connection just helps us like grow and improve and like see a world outside of ourselves.
What you do and who you spend time with is important to your physical health. And here in Provo, BYU students do that without needing the study. Kyle G and Noah Brown have been friends since high school, and agree that spending quality time together improves their feelings of health and well-being. The pair disc golfs together, allowing them to scratch that social itch in an easygoing environment.
I feel like being a part of a good friendship is just being able to be yourself. I think that is a big part about enjoying the time together, and then if you're more positive, you're happier, you're going to go out and do stuff together, and it's just going to be a lot more beneficial for your health.
Tough it out, set it on the table.
It is important to note that people do not have to spend time with their friends in physical activity to experience the study's effects. The biggest thing is quality.
These 5 verses are talked about so much.
BYU marketing major Seth Knowlton has been friends with his roommates for about a year and a half and has noticed that when he's around them, his life improves extensively. Together, the friend group hosts devotionals, reading their scriptures and holding each other accountable with what they learn.
I do too.
And Knowlton finds that he has more energy and is happier because of it.
Let's talk about verse 29.
So the biggest thing is that we wanted to take a time each morning to pray and to talk together and have scripture study, and to give us motivation and energy to do good things throughout the day and to serve others. It's like a joy to come home to talk with you guys.
Oh, dang, bro.
In all, connection is key. Reporting for Universe Live, I'm Megan Brugger.
Looking for new ways to have fun and meet new people? Country swing dancing has become increasingly popular at BYU. Alexa Elliott introduces us to a couple who especially loves country swing.
Every Tuesday night, BYU students flock to the Wilkinson Center for country swing dancing. For Megan Harrington and Simon Volansky, this get-together has meant everything.
Simon Hovansky proposed to his sweetheart, Megan Harrington, at the Sweetheart Swing Dance in February.
I proposed to them in the middle of the dance. It was glorious.
In front of everybody.
Their first date, country swing dancing. They are now vice presidents of the BYU Club and teach swing dancing.
You don't have to be a good dancer to learn to country swing dance.
The BYU Country Swing Dancing Club hosts about 200 to 500 students every Tuesday night. The club offers lessons at the beginning of each event.
Even if you think you can't dance, for the life of you, you have 2 left feet, I guarantee you'll be able to do this.
From two-step to line dances, students dance the night away.
Country swing is the simplest and, in my opinion, the most fun form of dancing, and so I really love that it's so social.
It's so cool the relationships you can build while dancing. It's just for everyone. You don't have to be a certain way or do a certain thing. You can just come and dance.
Country swing dancing is creating friendships and relationships that can last a lifetime. Reporting for Universe Live in Provo, I'm Alexa Elliott.
Thanks, Alexa. The club meets every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
Check out their Facebook page for more information.
A BYU player exhibits his passion for faith and football.
The whole purpose of Ramadan is to, build discipline, and grow that connection with God.
We'll show you the sacrifices one football player is making to stay faithful to God and loyal to his team.
I was born in Trujillo, a little town up at the north.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Enter to learn, go forth to serve. BYU as a university and as an athletics program strives to welcome people from all across the globe. BYU men's tennis is home to 4 international players, all with very different experiences on how they got here to BYU. Travis Hodson has the story on how a couple of these players have adjusted to their new home in Provo.
Here at BYU, the world is our campus, and on the BYU men's tennis team, there are multiple international players. If you were to meet them, they'd be a real ace.
The BYU tennis team is a collection of players from different countries around the world. Senior Mateo Vero comes from a small town in Peru.
So I'm from Peru. I was born in Trujillo, a little town up at the north.
Junior Jack Barnett hails from the great land of Australia.
So I was born and raised in Brisbane, Australia.
Coming from outside the United States, both players have different reasons for why they came to BYU. For Mateo, it came after learning more about the school.
After doing a little research, I decided to come here because it's just an amazing school.
For Jack, it was something the coach said when he was being recruited.
BYU athletes get treated like kings, and I'll never forget, treated like kings, and that was the selling point.
Upon arriving at BYU, both players had some getting used to certain things about Utah culture.
Soda shops, like I'm not a big soda guy, like I'll have a Coke every now and then, but like people go to Swig like all the time.
Even the language can take some getting used to.
I did have a little trouble understanding the slangs at first, and different accents from different parts of the country.
Both players also had to get used to a new religion.
I had never even heard of the LDS religion until like Brad recruited me.
I'm not a member of the church, and so it's a whole different change.
After all the adjusting, both Mateo and Jack can agree on one thing that makes BYU special.
I think this place is amazing. I think the people here are amazing. They're amazing people. They're super nice to everyone. They're always trying to help.
Everyone is so polite, so friendly. It's just a nice, happy place to be, really.
As you can see, Jack and Mateo are great additions to BYU men's tennis team. Come out and support them. For Universe Live Sports, I'm Travis Hodson.
A BYU football player opens up about fasting during Ramadan and playing on the football team. Robin Morris sat down with Maury Bamba to discuss his experience. Robin, what did he have to say?
Maury gives new meaning to faith and football as he abstains from food and water all day, all while participating in spring football practices.
Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, means that able-bodied Muslims fast from sunup to sundown. Maury says he went back and forth when deciding whether or not to observe Ramadan since this year it falls right in the middle of spring football training. He ultimately decided he would fast.
And it's going to help me with football, school, and down the road in life.
Maury says it has been hard for his body to adjust to the fasting while playing football.
It's definitely something that I felt the need to do this year.
He says it's been hard for him in the past because of his active and busy schedule, but this year is different.
I felt the need to grow closer with my faith.
Maury started out running track in college and came to BYU as a transfer from a junior college in Florida. He says he liked BYU because of the religious environment.
Coming here has really kind of like changed me.
Maury's mom was a big factor in influencing him to choose BYU because of the atmosphere.
She loved that too.
In fact, Maury says his mom is a big factor in everything in his life, including Ramadan.
I talk to her a lot to pass by time. It's a way of staying productive.
Maury wakes up at 4 or 5 in the morning to eat a meal before the day starts, then breaks his fast with a prayer around 8 o'clock in the evening.
The whole purpose of Ramadan is to, build discipline, and grow that connection with God.
During the day, he stays focused by reading from the Quran and from support from his coaches and teammates.
My coaches, they definitely support me with it. They even tell me not to cheat it.
The team nutritionist works with Maury as well to make sure he has food to bring home and is staying healthy.
I need to get the right amount of nutrients every day to be able to survive a 2.5-hour practice.
Ultimately, Maury says he wants to become a better person, and the process of fasting will help him do that.
What made me stick with it was just the man I'm going to become at the end of it. I think I have a lot of room to grow as a man. I think there's some discipline that I need to have in my life.
Maury's commitment to his faith is truly inspiring. Reporting at the BYU football practice fields for Universe Live, I'm Robin Morris Christensen.
Thanks, Robin. Pickleball has been around for a long time, but popularity has boomed in the last few years, and that boom is spreading to BYU campus. Alex Tumlip is down at the Richards building where BYU students play the game. Alex?
Yeah, guys, you may have remembered when I did that story on volleyball a couple of weeks ago and said how that was probably the most interesting sport I had seen. Well, one of the trendiest sports in the nation has found a most unlikely home in the most unlikely place.
That was my initial thought. This is the fad. It's going to die out. I just didn't see it as an 18 to 24-year-old sport. It got pitched to me by a pickleball representative who wanted BYU to introduce pickleball into their intramural sports program and into the classes.
For BYU intramural sports director Phil Kelly, the idea seemed crazy.
But we had just seen how fast it was growing in the nation.
But now,
once we started the classes, we also started a pickleball club got started, and then intramural started it.
My family moved to St. George, Utah when I was like 14. My dad and I started playing, and I had been playing tennis since I was 12, and it just seemed like a very easy transition.
now Spencer Kimball is running the pickleball club while competing with his partner, Ireland Earl.
So I actually asked the BYUSA clubs to see what was going on, and they didn't know. So I wound up actually taking it over, and so I've been running the club for 2 years now.
It's just exciting to see the growth of pickleball across all age groups, and it's just been a great success.
Kraus and Passy, you guys are playing Stratford and LaSalle.
If you want something to do for spring term, there are intramural pickleball tournaments going on May 12th and June the 9th if you're staying behind for spring term. And you can check the intramural sports website at isports.byu.edu for more information. Reporting from the Richards Building, Alex Timolip for Universe Live Sports.
Thanks, Alex. There's a new competitive arena sweeping across colleges and schools in America, the Computer Lab. Esports competitions are growing every year, and the events help young students get involved with math, science, and engineering. But BYU doesn't have an esports program. Kyle Riemann joins us to explain what's going on. Kyle, what are you doing over there?
Thanks. I'm just playing Overwatch, which is one of several esports that have joined a growing body of competitions that just gets bigger every single year.
All just kicked away, a lot of space.
Currently, more than 600 colleges and universities across the U.S. now have their own esports programs.
Look here for top cheese, back across the side.
But BYU does not.
Nice regain here.
BYU does have an esports club, which competes with other organizations, but no official team exists for the Y. This isn't for lack of trying, however, as the esports club has attempted several times to get one started.
Not engaged, he has to go back and help because Andeloff is on that back line.
After a year, I reached out once again and said, hey, we'd really like to get involved with extramurals again, raise the conversation. Is there any way that we can make this happen? Never replied.
Wait, what? John Morgan Nemelka has remained involved with the club even after graduation. It's his goal for the university to see esports as something that is beneficial to it and its students.
People want to come to the university because of their esports teams.
But here comes Buddy, and Busty forced to make the save.
The extramural department declined to comment on why they canceled prior attempts to organize esports events and a team. But a recent development has brought hope to those who want to see university recognition become a reality.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to show BYU that there's a lot of people interested in esports and games and like playing with other people and growing a community.
Yeah.
The student activities department offered a chance to create an esports class.
Island Game Plan's looking in a lot of trouble right now.
But it depends on the interest shown by students. So the esports club was given a table during the Wellness Expo on Thursday, March 30th to gather support from the student body.
I'm not super into other sports, and I feel like this would be something, a way that I could like support BYU.
More than 200 students responded.
Gaming, in my opinion, is at its best when you get to do it with other people.
Members of the club remain hopeful that the benefits of having such a program will eventually win over BYU administration.
I personally think it's time for BYU to seriously consider getting involved in the esports sphere.
And that one's down on the left sideline.
Not for the sake of being left behind, but rather for the sake of making sure that students feel like they can be involved in BYU.
Time will tell if BYU values that involvement. Reporting for Universe Live Sports from Utah County, I'm Kyle Riemann.
Thanks for joining us today for Universe Live.
Have a great day.